firstly, I'm just going to say on camera, thanks for giving us a bit of your time. I appreciate it, especially around kind of Christmas. Okay, so tell us a little bit the World Tour and how that came about, basically.
Okay, yeah. So I was with Mayweather Promotions for 5 years, and then I just wanted to change. I wanted to fight back home. I came back home, and the fights that I wanted didn't come to me. There were some good names like Burns, Flanagan. I would love those fights. It'd be good fights, but I didn't get those fights what I wanted. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go on a world tour because I've always fought abroad anyway, and I like to go abroad. So then I thought I could kill 2 birds with one stone. And so I just been doing that, and I already had been fighting abroad. So so that's what I've been doing, and it's been going well, and I'm enjoying it. So hopefully next year I will get, I'll get some fights I want here, because we're getting old and we want to call it a day soon. Can't box forever.
As much as you want to. But
yes.
Just going back, you said about you spoke to Frank and Eddie. Did you reach out to them first, or were they kind of reaching out to you?
Well, Eddie, he came to my team, and then he came to me, so he offered me, it was twice he offered me. And but it wasn't what I wanted, so, we politely said no. And but you never know, he might come again, because I like the Burns fight, but, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, because he recently fought Cardle.
Yeah, I heard it was a good win, but Badu Jack, he messaged me as it was going on. I didn't see the fight, but Badu, he messaged me and said, yo, it'll be a good fight for you, you would beat him. So, we like those fights, and that's from a world champ, he knows my style very well. So you never know.
Yeah, well, hopefully, you never know, kind of next year, because Burns is in a bit of a situation himself, isn't it, where he's kind of coming to the end of his career. Yeah, it's all right.
Disruptive people, you just see women just disruptive. Anyway, let's continue.
So obviously Burns himself is in a bit of a kind of coming to the end of his career.
Yeah, he's coming to the end, so I know he's looking for fights, you know what I'm saying? So I understand everyone has their own path, what they want to think. So I can't knock the next man for doing what he wants to do. So I would love to fight Burns, I would love to fight Flanagan, but it's up to them to make it happen. And Flanagan's lost twice, so it would be a good fight for him to try to bounce back from, But you never know, man. So that's why I just keep doing my tour, and we just see what happens.
And Frank's not...
No, Frank hasn't come at all. Frank hasn't come at all, but I've had the other ones, the guys that do the world boxing.
Yeah, the Sauerlands.
So they have come twice as well, they're matchmaker, I forget his name, but he's come at me twice. So
you've got a lot of kind of options.
Yeah, I've got options, it's just I keep saying no because it's not what I like, and that's how I've always been. I don't really take a fight if I don't like the fight or it doesn't do. At the end of the day, if you're a boxer, you have to go into a fight that you want to be in, not a fight that you're just doing it to take some money and whatever. It's a job, but so hence why I enjoy my world tour, because what I'm saying, I get shown love all over the world, so it's good.
So what's the next stop for the world tour? Is anything in
I'm going back to Vegas to watch Badu Jack, support my friend. Then Ishe Smith's supposed to be boxing in February on the undercard of Tank. So I'm going back to Vegas to support my 2 friends. And while I'm there, I might fight while I'm there. I'm speaking to some promoters, so I don't want to say it now, but I should fight while I'm out there. So hence I'm in the gym now, just staying in shape, staying ready. And so that's basically that. But so I have a goal of going to 10 countries, like 10. So I got 10. I want to fight and win in 10. So that's the goal. So it used to be done back in the day. A lot of boxers, the old school guys, they used to fight all over the world. And nowadays it's not really done. It's not really done.
it's a lot of the fighters when they become like quite a big name, they usually stay in their own.
Yeah, it's understandable. You want to be safe. You know what I mean? If you stay in a certain town or thing, the judges promote. It's all safe. So everyone knows that this is your home and you are supposed to win. It's when you go abroad is when it becomes harder because it's the next set of judges, the referees. So but I've always grew up the boxers that I used to like Ben. He used to go all over the world, so I love watching Ben. So just the boxers that used to go around the world, that used to be my favorite. So hence that's why I've tried to do that with my own career, and it's prolonged it as well. If I had stayed here, I would have stopped long time ago, and I wouldn't even be British champion if I had stayed here. So, I only got that fight because I went to America, I beat up the world #3, and that's how I got the opportunity to fight for the British. So it's a good thing to go abroad if you ain't got a promoter and whatever.
You get to see the world as well, isn't it?
Fight around the world, it's good.
But I want to go back to the beginning, really. So when you were younger, how did you get into boxing? Tell us that story.
So my dad was a boxing fan. So he used to watch the big fights that were in America, and then as a little kid, I used to watch it with him. And then I was like, Dad, I could try it out, it looked fun. And then he brought me down to the gym, which was the gym we came to. And then I fell in love with boxing, and I've been doing it ever since. So as a child, so hence when I was in Vegas, I would always think, this is what I wanted to do as a kid, and I'm actually doing it. So it's always a big deal to me that I actually got here through hard work and not the same way I got through. I deserve to be where I am. So it's cool.
What age were you?
8 years old. 88.
Is that when you really started?
1988. It's a long time ago.
And what was the?
30 years.
Can you remember the first boxer that you look up to and thought, that's?
Iron Mike. Iron Mike was the one because he was the guy at the time, and then so he was the star, the man at the time. So Iron Mike, was the guy.
And he was the one that you did you
try
to model yourself?
Because he fought in Vegas. I think he won the title October of '86 or '85, '86. Yeah. Yes, I saw that. And I was like, this looks cool. But then my mum, she wouldn't let me box. She was like, no, you can't fight. But I went on for 2 years or whatever it was, and then my mum was like, all right, try it. But then she told my dad to make sure he don't enjoy it. But then I came here, I had fun, and then that was the end of it. I was like, I want to do it.
So what was did you have much amateur background on the fights?
I had 40 wins and 10 losses, so it was okay. I didn't win anything. I got to the Northwest Divs 3 times or so, and I always lose to the guy who went on to win it, so it wasn't meant to be in the amateurs. I was alright, but I just wasn't one of the best. Yeah. My divs was always just hard. And you're in a division and it's hard, so
And how long were you as an amateur for in the amateur ranks?
I was an amateur from I'd say 6 years. I was competing for 6 years.
And went to around the world?
Well, I competed at Stowe Club. I had 3 fights with Stowe, and then I had the rest of my fights here. So, yeah.
Did you fight anyone in the amateurs that...
Lee Beavis, I think, was the best one I fought. I think he went on to win it. Lee Beavis, he went on to win it. 1 year he went on to win it. I think that might have been 99, long time ago, is what I'm saying. Long time ago. So Lee Beavis, but he turned pro, but he went jail. So that messed up his career. He went to jail for something. So, it's life, man. It's weird. When Lenny Dawes was around as well. So Lee Beavis...
He's from our kind of neck of the woods.
Lee Beavis, when he beat me in the divs, then he went on to fight Lenny. that's the first time I saw Lenny. I was like, wow, this guy's good. But Lenny beat him, and I was like, one day I got to fight Lenny because they're in the pros, because he's very good. So he was very good amateur. But then the year after that, Lee went on the whole way to win it. So Lee was good.
When it came to turning professional, was that like an easy decision? When you wanted to turn professional, was it an easy decision?
When I wanted to turn pro, like that's what I wanted to do as a little kid, because that was what I was watching, was pro boxing, and my amateur coach here would always moan at me because I would be doing like the pro style, and like, you know, he would like, you're an amateur, like fight like an amateur. So so I couldn't wait to turn pro, and then it was my amateur coach here was saying, I'm not ready yet, I'm not ready. So I think like 2 years went by, and then I asked again and he said okay. So I always wanted to be pro, but a lot of amateurs, even in America, a lot of amateurs don't know it's not sport. Basically, first off, it's not sport because it's about money. So, and a lot of amateurs don't know that side. They just know about just fighting. That's all you do is go up and down America, wherever it is around the world, and you fight. But they don't know from when you turn pro, it's a next ball game. Like, it's about money first, and then the sport like second. So that's why there's been a lot of good amateurs that turn pro and they never go on to do anything, because it's like another sport.
And I suppose you pay everything. You pay your nutritionists, your trainers.
Yeah, like it comes out of your money, and I think so there's always like amateurs are always saying, Ash, you get this, you get that. But I really like, or they say, how can I? So there was just one amateur just last week here was asking me, he's just turned pro. And I think he turned pro too soon because he's like 20 years old and 21. And he said, how do I get like folks to back me? And I said, like, one, you have to be like an amateur star where you've won stuff, or you've got to be a pro that's doing stuff or winning stuff. And I said, you and I, but you work an amateur star, and you're not a pro star. So you have to wait, you have to back yourself, get the wins to show potential, then you can start asking for it. But you can't go and say, I need help, because like you were going to be asked, what have you achieved to date? Yeah. And if you haven't achieved nothing to date, like 9.9 times out of 10 is going to be a no. So, you know,
I think these days as well, compared to like when you were coming up as an amateur, say the benefit now is social media as well. Yeah,
so you can show you've got some skills and that. But another thing I'll say, a lot of these like young guys that do all that pretty pads, that don't mean you can fight. Because you can do pretty pads and do that pad work, or because you spar and it looks good, that don't mean that you can do that. Because sparring and the fight night is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? So it is, you know.
Do you think it's easier now for amateurs turning professional than it was when you were? When I say easier, how can I put this? It's kind of
arms on seats. Like
and
well, there was one amateur here the other day again. Cause I like to chat. I like to speak to the amateurs about where, cause a lot of them are saying they want to turn pro, they want to turn pro. So there was another amateur that same day. I was chatting to him, and he was basically saying as well that Ash, you came up in a time when there was no Instagram, there wasn't this. So for us, it's easier now, because if we build ourselves on that, then it's easier for us to sell the bums on seats. So I don't really mind. It just shows what I did is just hard, because even a lot of the amateurs now, all the young pros who start at your call. So if you start at your call on like a deal that you got to sell, to think even to get to British champ is a hard feat to start there. But to go to America or fight all over the world or get signed by Mayweather Promotions to fight for the world title, to fight Nate, like it's unheard of, like what I've done. So even though I don't get I don't get the credit I'm due, what I've done is great. You know what I'm saying? I didn't become a world champ, but I got that far. And most boxers don't even get that far. And to do it where you started on your own, Like I was on my own for 10 years. It took 10 years to get a promoter to back me. Majority of boxers, like they would have quit by then. But I had become like British champ on my own with no promoter, no manager. You know, so it's unheard of, you know, what I've achieved.
I wanted to touch upon that actually. When you first...
I hope we can hear the interview because these fucking kids.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch upon like when you were kind of turning pro. So back then you didn't have like a promoter as such. So telling me about like how you got fights and the difficulties it was to get on cards, and obviously back then you didn't have multiple TV stations backing boxing.
You know what? For me it was cool because there was a few small promoters like back then. Like now, I think for some of the boxers, there's got Steve Goodwin, you got MTK, you got some British
Warriors.
Yeah. So there's a few of them who are around. Back in my day, I think there was more Miranda Carter. I had Miranda Carter. I had Derek Williams. I had Joe Powell, John Phelps. So there was loads of promoters around at that time where I could get on cards and just do like, say like a ticket deal. So for me, it was cool because I put bums in the seats so I could get the little wins that I needed. So I didn't have no issue. But it's still hard being on your own, but that's why I always went to America, because my big dream was always to fight in America. So I would go over there to train, spar, hope that I would get seen and then get signed. So so my goal wasn't not being bad, but I didn't really care about like boxing here, like because I started boxing. It was like watching the American stars. So that's always what I wanted to do. So my goal was always to get to America, So when I saved up enough money, I went there, I started to spar with them, and they used to show me more love than what I got here. So then that's the place I wanted to be. And then, you know, that's how I used to get, and then that's how I got signed by Floyd. So sometimes not everyone's path is straight, because most British boxers, they do the same thing to go the same route. But I went another path that isn't done, and I went to America, and it was unknown for anyone to really do what I did. And you know, I'm very proud of myself. You know, so when I sit back and I think about what I've done, like it's been a good ride. It's been hard, but it's been a good ride because I believed in myself. So it's easy to make that decision to leave the UK and... Yeah, it was, because that's what I always wanted to do. Like my goal as a little kid was to fight in America. Like one day I was like, I want to be there, like a fight in America. To actually do what I wanted to do as a little kid. When you have a little dream as a kid and say to do it, like wow, you know what I'm saying, you did it. If you, at the end of the day, if you win or lose, it don't even matter, because it's the point you got there, and it's everything that you had to get through to get there. What was the first fight you had in America? What was that like? And who was that against? Yeah, the first fight in America was weird. That was... Was it New York? Was it? Connecticut, ESPN Connecticut. I don't know why I thought 2000, and I'm trying to remember the year. 2006 or 7. Sorry, it's a long time ago. So anyway, yeah. So my first fight, I actually lost my first fight. Tough Frenchman, and I actually pissed blood the next day. Like it was weird. Like I was pissing blood. But yeah, it was a hard fight, and it was weird. I had finally got my shot to fight in America. I was like, I'm finally here. And then I go and lose. And then I was like, damn, at the start of the dream is over. Damn, the American dream is over. So, yeah, so I lost. And then, that's what I'm saying, there's so many times that you can quit. If you got to go, there's so many times that you can quit. But then it's the ones that don't quit, and you just stay believing, and you just keep work, and it happens. So I lost my first fight, and then I came back home, fought on a York Hall show, won. Then I went back to America, And then I saw that DeMarcus he chop was going to fight, and he had just lost to Devin Alexander, so he was looking to come back. So they saw my fight I'd lost, and then so they thought that he could have won. Cause I think the year before he had fought Witter for like the world. I think so. He wasn't shot yet. He was still in like up there. And then so they thought that he was go win to win. But I knew I could beat him, because sometimes you can look at some guy's thing and say, yeah, he hasn't beat nobody, he hasn't achieved anything yet, but you don't know what he's doing in the gym, you don't know what his potential is. So I knew I could do it, but it's to do it on the night, it's to do it when it counts. So then we went into the 8th rounder, and then I think he won the first 2 rounds, because I was just mesmerized, like, I'm gonna fight the guy that fought Cotto, because I was a big fan of Cotto. I was a fan of Floyd, he had fought Floyd, so I'm thinking, wow, I'm fighting this man now. Like, so at first I was starstruck, like, damn, I'm in the ring with him. So I lost the first 2 rounds because of that, and then my coach was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can win this fight. And then I just switched on, just started to go at him, and then I won the next 6. I lost the first 2, because I was like, just, you know, just staring at him. And then I won it. So then I won it as an 8th rounder, and then that was the start of it. Everyone knew I could actually fight, and then that's when I nearly got a fight with Zab, and then it fell off. I was supposed to fight Zab after that, but then me and Zab trained at the same gym, but we would go in at different times. And then I think what his team, they found out that we were supposed to fight, and they pulled the fight. So it's interesting that there's many ways that if I, you know, you could go like so many ways, and sometimes. Stop! These kids are bad breeds. Bad breeds. No manners.
They're in front of the camera. They want to be on the YouTube. Well, they will be, I think.
So what are we doing?
Yeah, so, okay, so what I did want to ask you was about when you fought in America compared to the UK, the audience and the whole process, it's, you know, I've never been to America, and but I've witnessed, watching it on TV, the audience and the crowd is different than it is in the UK. The UK is very...
Like as loud.
Yeah, how was that? Was it easy to get? Was it any different, like when you're in the ring? And...
No, see, but...
Right, so we were saying about, audience in America and different...
Yeah, so the audience, I didn't mind it, because when I would always fight, I would be on the B side majority of the time. So I always wanted to pull off the upset, you know, and as well, I always block out the crowd. I listen to, you know, my team's always shouting, so they're on my ear, they're in my mind. But then when I joined TMT, the crowd would cheer for me, because if we fought in Vegas, they knew I was one of the fighters, and the majority of the crowd would know. Like, no, so it was weird. I've done the B side where I had to pull off the upset, and then I've done it as being the home team where the crowd, they cheer. So I rather be the man that's got to pull off the upset. I just prefer that, because it makes me fight harder than knowing when I get in the... It's weird with being with Floyd, it's weird because a lot of times you were the home side, so if it's a tight fight, you would win. But then there's a lot of like the judges, they don't like Floyd as well. So it's weird, you know, it sometimes depends who you get, because there's some officials like Floyd and there's some that don't like Floyd, because he brings a lot of money to America or to like Vegas, but you just get that. It's just weird. It's weird. There's some that like him.
Kind of shown in the Canelo fight, wasn't it? When Canelo got...
we saw the judge, like she said, a draw. So it's, but he brings in so much money that majority, I would say, of Vegas like him, because without him, they wouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying, the fight night. He missed the fight night. That's what. Even when Floyd retired, the 2 years afterwards, it was weird, because even though Canelo would fight there was no fight week like a Floyd fight week. It's like the town just came alive, because everyone flew in from all over the world. So that's one thing I liked about like being, and when Floyd was boxing, I was on, I think 6 of his last I was on 3 of his last cards, and then 3 of the build-up cards, where there was always one that was like the day before or the week of. So it was always good because fans came from all over the world. So it was nice. It was nice.
Talk to me about how you got signed with Floyd and how you got introduced.
Yeah, that's when I was British champion, and I was in New York for camp. So I was in New York for camp, and I was there for 8 weeks. And then it was like 2 weeks in, and I was like, I'm gonna be bored if I'm here for 8 weeks. So I looked to see like where I could go for camp, and I saw that Floyd Mayweather was in camp in Vegas. I thought, I'll fly over there. So I flew over there, and then I got there, and then I had to find where the gym was. So I went to the gym, walked in the gym, and then I forgot which one I met. Roger. So I met Roger. I said, I'm British champ. He said, oh, you good then? I said, yeah, I am good. So then he done some pads with me. Again, I was starstruck because this is Roger Mayweather and stuff. And then he was cool with me. So we done pads. And then I was told I could stay. I trained, and then I was told I could stay to watch Floyd train. So I watched Floyd train. I think he sparred. It was for the Cotto camp. And then afterwards, he was around, and I was gonna walk by him to leave. But then he saw me and he stopped me, and he said, who are you? So I said, I'm actually THEOPHANE British champ. So he said, what is your wins and losses? So I said, I'm 33 wins. I think I had four losses then. So he said, oh, you might have to spar. So I was like, cool, because I'm here I think I was here for like a week or 2. So I said, I'm here for a week or 2. I'm here, innit? Like, if you want to spar, I'm here. So I never got to spar him that time. So I stayed for the whole week. I'm not sure if it was a week or 2 weeks. It might have been 2. So then I left and I said, have fun if you fight. But then I lost my British title. And I thought, again, no opportunities here for me. So I was like, what can I do? So this is 2012. So I was like, so I went to America for a little fight. And I went to another place for another fight. And I was like, I need to do something big. So then I thought, like Floyd Mayweather, like he showed me love. I was like, I'm gonna go over there and try to get on the money team. And then Ishe Smith had just fought, and he was 34 or something like that, and he had just won the world title. So I thought, if Ishe Smith could do it, I must be able to do it, because I saw he had an up and down kind of career like me as well. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to Vegas. I'm gonna try to see if I could get on the team. So I went back to Vegas, flew out there. I think he was gonna train for the Guerrero camp then. And then, so Floyd was there again. It was the first day of camp. And he said, oh, he's back. And I was like, damn, like he remembered me a year, like exactly a year had gone, and the man remembered me, and he meets so many guys. So I was like, cool. So I said, yeah, I'm back here just to train. So then I was there for like 2 months just sparring, and he would watch me spar as well, going out for runs with him. And then yeah, we was going out for one run, and he had found out I was like, I had fought a lot of big names. And he said, you know what, I want to help you. I believe I can get you some big fights. I believe you can beat a lot of the big names out there. So I was like, cool, thanks. So after the Guerrero fight, he said that, yeah, Dave, this is my like boxer from like the UK, and that he wanted to sign me. So, you know what I'm saying, like he didn't know me from anywhere. He knew a little bit of my backstory, and he was just like, he wanted to give me a break where I had been on my own for 10 years. I'd become British champion. I'd become the world #4. That was all on my own. But he was like, if I back you, you can do even more. So I was just
that must have been
cool,
some feeling.
Yeah, and that was cool, because that was the man at the time. That was the man, the hottest thing in the world, and he just being cool with you, saying, you want to come out here, you want to go for rounds, you want to train, and I was sparring as well with him, so...
What's he like? On camera, he's quite extrovert and what have you. What's he like off camera and just like one-on-one? Is he the
You
same?
know what? I think with Floyd, he's like one of those guys you either like him or you don't. Because I think he's always on. Because wherever he is, he's always got eyes on him. Like when it's very rare you get to be with him one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's always on. But I do say, like, he gets a lot of bad press, but I do think, obviously, everyone has their bad side and whatever, but I do think he's done a lot of good for a lot of boxers. You know what I'm saying? You got, like, Javante. Like, no one didn't really know Javante until he got... Like, Javante probably would have been a champ without Floyd or Mayweather Promotions, but, like, Floyd was the one who... Like, you know what I'm saying? He gave him that push and said, you know what I'm saying, you could be champ.
He's a bit of a beast, isn't he?
Yeah, and now he's the man. He's gonna fight soon. So, yeah, Badu Jack as well. No one really knew him.
You're quite good mates with Badu
yeah, that's
Jack,
my
right?
good friend. But he had lost by, I think, a 1-round KO. So even when he got his shot, everyone was saying, why is he got a shot for? But Floyd was like, I'm gonna give you a chance. It's up to you to go do it. You know what I'm saying? Same with Shay Smith, another one of my friends. He got him a shot when he hadn't fought for like 2 years, and he said, I want to help. So he's helped a lot of boxers who wouldn't have maybe had that help in the past. So I think, you know what I'm saying, he's done a lot of good. You know what I'm saying? No one's, you know, all great, but he's done a lot of good things. He helped me, he's helped many others that are still on their grind. You got Andrew Tabiti, who's in the world unboxing thing. He's just one. Darius, like me. So there's a lot of young like boxers now who are coming up.
Floyd got you the world title shot, which was...
And I basically got that from sparring Floyd, and Floyd believed that I could beat AAP from just sparring me. It was like, if you spar, you can bring the sparring game into the fight, you can win. But it didn't work. But yeah, so you know, I got.
What was it like, the whole the whole build up and everything with Bro? Yeah.
It was fun.
See, he's another one, isn't he?
Yeah, I had fun. At the end of the day, he didn't have to fight me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to fight me. I wasn't ranked when he said he wanted to fight me. So I always have respect for him because he gave me like my opportunity to make a lot of money and to fight for the world title as well. You know what I'm saying? And so it was great from start to finish. You know what you're gonna get with AB. So there's nothing that he said that got to me. I enjoyed it. I've been watching him for years, and you know, to be in the ring with him was cool. You know, we just didn't get the win, even though I believed I could have won. You know, you got to go out there and do it, and I didn't do it. But yeah, I had fun the whole way through. I had fun.
Was that your toughest fight to date, Bro?
No. I've had some harder ones. No, I wouldn't say that's the hardest one, but yeah, there was some other ones stuff. Yeah. And he even asked me as well. I remember, like last year, he asked me like, who is the hardest puncher that I faced? And yeah, so
that's funny. Someone tweeted me actually to ask you who was your who's the hardest puncher that you faced. That's
I say like Kano, my first fight with Floyd. Every punch I got hit, it hurt. I couldn't breathe. Like every punch, I was in pain. and I lost a split with that. And yeah, he just hit hard. Everything he used to hit me with, I was like, damn. I was like, this shit hurt. But you know, I made it to 10 rounds. I bit down and fought, and you know what I'm saying. I never wanted to get stopped. That was one thing in my mind as a boxer. I would rather be KO'd than stopped. So you know, the only one I was stopped by was AB, but you know, no, I'm shaming that.
Shout out to him for that British title. Is that the highlight of your career, like the most proudest?
You know what? I put British was cool, but I put to fight for the world title at the top because that was always, not being rude, but to win the British was never on my list of to do. I did it because I was offered a lot of money to come back here because I was world number 4 at the time. So Hennessy, I was like, why am I going to come back to fight for the British and I'm world number 4? That don't make sense. But they offered me a lot of money, so then that's why I did it for that. And then I was just like, I just wanted to prove them wrong, because for years the British fans, the British promoters, they didn't show me no love. So I was like, I just want to come back, just win it and then go. And then I did it. So that's, yeah, but I say it's up there. I was proud to be British champ, but it wasn't on my to-do list. It just happened.
Someone else tweeted about, it was about Ohara Davies.
Yeah.
What actually happened with all that? He called you out after it was an incident when Floyd was in the UK, wasn't it? If I recall, was it to do with something about a belt or something, or he ignored him?
Oh, no. All right. So this is it. Ohara had been at the Mayweather gym like a few years ago. Like when I was there, he had come. He had sparred, whatever, but he had never met Floyd. I think when he had come, Floyd never did. And so when, I think when Floyd was here, he joined the queue with all the other fans to meet Floyd. So he is in the queue. He had just beaten Derry. He had just beaten Derry. So he saw me. So I was at the back with like Floyd's guys. So I saw him. So I just said, "Congrats on your win." And I even said, it's only a matter of time before you call me out. He was like, "Nah, Ash, I'll never do that. I'll never do that." I was like, "Alright, cool, whatever. I know how boxing goes." Like, cool. So anyway, he stayed in line for about 1 hour to get to Floyd. So he gets to Floyd. So he's chatting with Floyd. And then he goes, like I know actually THEOPHANE. So then Floyd calls me over, so I go over there. And then what happened? Yeah, I think Ohara said about his belt. And Floyd was like, "Oh, I've only got gold ones." I forget what one he had, but he had one of those.
Silver or international, whatever.
That's what it was. And Floyd was like, "I've only got a gold, so I only know about the gold one." So he maybe didn't like that Floyd made a joke out of his belt that, so he got upset about that. But it was still cool though, so it was kind of weird because it was still cool. So Floyd's gone on to do his talk. He stayed around to watch Floyd's talk. But I forgot he used to represent him. I forget the guy's name. But he obviously saw that the cameras were on Floyd and he said to say something about the comment what Floyd made. So then he said, "Floyd, whatever, I don't like that you made fun of my belt, whatever." And then I had left that time because I had gone into Floyd's car. And then so they said whatever they said. Because being real, if you're a world champion, majority of world champions do not care about these little belts that he's winning. Like, it's not even British. Like, say you come at me, at least I fought for the British, I fought some names, I fought in America, I fought for the world title. I can't say one thing that the kid's done.
You fought Danny Garcia as well?
Yeah, I did. But that's what I'm saying. Like I've done so much stuff that I forget, and he's done nothing of late. He's done nothing as yet. He's fought. So his claim to fame is quitting against Josh, because that's all he's done. That's all he's achieved in boxing. So anyway, so yeah, Sky Sports started doing their little thing, trying to get it out, and they would tag me, but I would read the thing, and he's not saying my name. And I saw that for a week or so, he didn't say my name. But his team behind him, they must have said, "You got to say Ashley's name," because I was the only guy on Floyd's team who was really known at that weight. So then I think he's done my name or whatever it was, and then that's how I became part of it. But I would have fought him, but the promoter he was with at the time, it wasn't worth no one money. So it's all good you doing the big talk, but when your promoter don't even believe in you, that he's offering like terrible money, then it doesn't become worthwhile. So I would have fought him, but it just wasn't worthwhile. So that's why we never fought. And the thing is, I kind of enjoy. I could retire next year, never fight him, and just enjoy watching his career, because he might have achieved the most he's ever going to achieve. We could be looking at, this is, you peaked. You know, you peaked, you fought Josh just played with you. And I've never even watched him fight. I've watched a round, I've just watched that round of Josh doing what he done. Then I knew he fought the other guy who was British champ. What's the guy? Jack Catterall.
Yeah.
He fought him. I believe that Jack would have won as well, because Jack's a good fighter. So the two names you fought, both beat. And I think if he had fought like the other guy that he stopped, Derry, if he had fought him in his prime, he would have got stopped by him as well. So it is what it is, but that's enough about him.
Yeah.
You know, that's enough about him.
Yeah, cool, sorry. I thought after so many times it
Oh yeah, was it all right?
Yeah,
we could talk. Yeah, we could go in on him. He's like a comedian.
So you've discussed about talking about other younger fighters and how you've been helping them, mentoring them. Is that something you'll be looking to get into, training or coaching?
I don't want to be a coach when I retire, but I do enjoy to advise these young, if it's boxers, whoever, like from the like community, because I want to have my own boxing gym. So that's basically my goal, like within next year, the end of next year, to have my own like boxing gym to help these kids get off the streets and what's going on with like the knife crime, because it means a lot like to me, because I came from a background where I easily could have been in jail instead of being who I am now. So hence I would like to help some of these kids change their life, and just give them a goal and just help them, you know.
Cool.
We like that one because that's important.
Well, hopefully there's one more year of fighting left, and then that's the aim. And hopefully we'd like to see you on this fight one more time in the UK.
That's what I would like to, you know, because that's basically what I'm trying to get out of them. Like, if they do want me to fight their young boys, to help their young boys, you got to give me my homecoming fight, because that's what I want, my homecoming fight. So I don't care about your fighters, but I'll fight them if I can get what I want. So it have to be like a 2-fight deal, where first fight I get what I want, and then whoever.
Well, Eddie, Frank, if you're listening. Before we go, any shout-outs or any sponsors or any social media you want to plug?
Sponsor, shout out to Ashley THEOPHANE. You did it against the odds. Keep inspiring the youth of today.
Cool. I'm much appreciated for giving some of your time, and hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Nice one.